Here is my hydrogen unit. Having a bit of issue with my volt meter on this unit, so I'm going to get rid of that, put something else in. This here is a pulse width modulator. I've set it, so I'm not going to touch it necessarily at the moment. And this is just the switch for the pump. This is a 10 amp AC DC regulator, and this is for this is DC pulse width modulator for the pump. So the water comes in, up through there, back down through the cell, all the way to the top, and back down into the system. And this here is just the water reservoir which feeds the cell, and I could probably stack a number of cells all along the wall here. And this one here is just the air purifier and storage tank. So all the power is off at the moment. There's my additional amp meter. And I still have 1.3 volts in the system because I have been running this. So just residual power in the unit. I'm sure that would slowly creep down if I watched it long enough. It's probably just from the capacitors and stuff like that in the system. So I'll turn it on. Okay, so that's the pump running. And adjust the speed of the pump right down to up. And this here is the power, this 6 amp 12 volt that runs the pulse width modulator for this pump. Separate power supply. And got a gate here, can close the water off, drain this if I wanted to, or work on the cell, or put another cell in, whatever. So I can fill this whole unit up with water by this valve here, and I can drain it by this valve here. So I've got, excuse the colours, but this here is your power input. So that bottom cell there is, bottom terminal there is negative, and this outer case here is negative. So it goes negative, positive, negative. So the very center stainless tube on the inside is the positive. There's my amp meter there, 8.6, no, 8.5 amps. And like I said, the voltmeter is not really working very well, despite what I've done playing around with these different wires. It's just a headache, and I found something way better on eBay to use, so I'm going to do that. And so there's my amp meter there. You're not focusing. It's having trouble focusing. Anyway, that is just almost 8, just over 8 volts. And you can see it there. Oh, I'm sorry, 8 amps. Yeah, that's pretty close, but I think it's not exactly accurate. And bearing in mind this is a pulse width modulator, so it's going to jump up and down all the rest. So I'm at my limit at 10 amps really, so I mean I could crank it up just a little bit. About there. And I've got another one of these ordered, which is a 60 amp, and that'll allow me to drive this at 50 amps. which is pretty much I would have maxed out on it. That's capable of going to 60 volts. So I'll show you the gas that's coming in. So there we go, 4.37 volts. And 8 amps, 8.5 amps. There we go, there's the flow there. So you're looking down there, you probably can't see it. It's quite a wee ways down. There's a stone, a fish tank stone in there. I think I've got a airlock in there. Water's not flowing right. Anyway, getting an airlock in there. There shouldn't be an airlock in the cell, which tells me that there might not be water all the way up in the cell because it's stopping and starting. It's I've had that issue before, and I just purged it and I fixed it. So I don't know if you can see the bubbles. I should really have a dark background on there. It's probably a bit easier to see. Yeah. Anyway, that's my system. For now, I'm definitely going to supercharge it, make it at least 10 amps per cell, and I'll have a whole line of them down there. So I could probably put another 5 of these in here, running 10 amps each, or maybe I'll run them in series or something, we'll see. Anyway, that's me. Cool.